Welcome everyone. Okay, we are going to learn some of the important concepts in organic chemistry. First is the introduction part. What is meant by organic chemistry? What are organic compounds? And some of the basic concepts and important concepts regarding the topics. Okay, next is hydrocarbon. That means in the organic chemistry, and the most basic and the most important part is hydrocarbons. As the name itself suggests, hydrocarbons means the compounds containing hydrogen and carbon. The compounds that contain hydrogen and carbon. They are known as hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbons are mainly classified into mainly three types, and they are alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. And we can learn about their structural formula, how to write the structural formula, how to write the condensed formula, and the molecular formula. We can learn all these things so easily so that you may not have any doubt in the later classes. Okay. First, what is meant by organic chemistry? What is organic chemistry? Organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry. As you all know, there are many branches in chemistry like inorganic, physical, organic, and other branches. So one of the most important branch of chemistry is organic chemistry that deals with many organic compounds. Organic chemistry mainly deals with many organic compounds. Okay, organic compounds. Many compounds like phenol, nitrogen compounds, and there are lots of compounds in the organic chemistry section. We are not going to that part. We are going to the most basic part, that is hydrocarbon part. Hydrocarbon part, as already said, contains hydrogen and carbon. The compounds that contain hydrogen and carbon are called hydrocarbons, and in that category itself, we can say that they are mainly classified into three types. Hydrocarbons are classified mainly into three types. They are alkenes, alkenes, and alkynes. Okay, we can learn about them one by one. Okay, their structural formula, condensed formula, and molecular formula. First is alkene. What is meant by alkene? As we all know that carbon is a compound with an atomic number 6. Okay, carbon is an element with an atomic number 6, not a compound but an element with atomic number 6. We can write its electronic configuration as 2, 4. It needs 4 more electrons to attain octet, stable configuration. Everyone know about that. Okay, that means carbon electronic configuration of carbon. The shell-wise electronic configuration of carbon is 2, 4. It needs 4 more electrons to attain octet. Octet configuration means in the outermost shell, 8 electrons are to be present, or our valence electrons must be 8 electrons. Okay, for that purpose, the carbon makes bond with other atoms. Carbon can make bonds with other atoms. It can make a maximum of 4 bonds with other atoms to get stability. Okay. The carbon can make bond with many other atoms like other carbons, hydrogen, and other bromine, and many other compounds, many other elements. But here we are going to learn only those compounds that contain carbon and hydrogen. So from this information, you can easily say that there is a carbon atom, and it is bonded with 4 atoms. We can consider its hydrogen. We can consider all the 4 atoms the carbon bonded with are hydrogens. Okay. We have written a compound, right? There is a single carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. There is only one carbon atom, so the consideration of single bond is of no use here. Here there is only one carbon atom and there is no double bond or triple bond here, so we can say that this compound belongs to alkanes group. This compound belongs to alkanes group. Okay, this is the structural formula of this compound. As we have already said, we are going to learn about structural formula, condensed formula, and molecular formula. This is the structural formula of this compound. Okay, there is only one carbon atom. It is bonded with 4 hydrogen atoms. The bonds are visible, and writing the structure with bonds visible are known as structural formula. And this is the structural formula of CH4. Without writing the bonds, we can write it in another way, like carbon with 4 hydrogen atom. This is the condensed formula. This is the condensed formula of this compound. That means carbon with 4 hydrogen atoms are known as methane. The compound is methane. We can learn about the nomenclature and the names of these compounds later. Just understand that there is one carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. Writing expanded way. Writing is with the bonds visible are known as structural formula. This is the structural formula. Okay. Writing without the bonds is known as a condensed formula. We can learn with many other compounds. Okay. There is carbon-carbon single bond, or if there is no double bond or triple bond visible, we can easily say that it's an alkane. Okay. As we already said, hydrogen carbon can form 4 bonds with hydrogen, and because the valency of carbon is 4. Okay. Just look at the next slide. Here we are going to learn some compounds, some alkenes. I'm going to learn that structural formula, condensed formula, and molecular formula. Okay. I'm going to draw a picture. Draw a structural formula of a compound. We have already learned about the compound with 1 carbon atom. Here we are going to learn the compound with 2 carbon atom. We are considering 2 carbon atom. Maximum number of bonds a carbon can make is 4. Okay, here we consider first carbon atom. We can write as carbon 1, and this is carbon 2. And the first carbon atom, it makes 4 bonds with the nearest atoms. One is with the nearest carbon atom, C2 atom, and other 3 are with the hydrogen atom. We are dealing with hydrocarbons, so we can write the compounds. We can write those compounds with carbon and hydrogen. Okay, so all the 4 bonds of this carbon atom is satisfied. And next we are considering the second carbon atom. Here 1 bond is with the nearest carbon atom, C1 carbon atom. So the left 3 bonds. The other 3 bonds of this carbon atom is bonded with hydrogen atom. Okay. From the information, we can easily say that there is only single bond between carbon atom. There are only single bonds between carbon atoms. Then we can say that this is an example of alkane. This is an example of alkane. Okay, don't get confused. This is an example of alkane. Okay, sorry for the mistakes in writing. I'm not used to this kind of writing in presentations. Okay, anyways, alkane. And we can write the condensed formula. That means the writing with the bonds visible way, it is known as a structural formula. And condensed formula means without showing the bonds. That means there is the bond between the carbon and carbon must be shown. The bonds between carbon and carbon must be shown, but the carbon-hydrogen bond should not be written. That means carbon is bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms. So we can write carbon is bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms. Okay, this carbon atom is bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms. We can erase it and write perfectly. Like there are mainly 2 carbon atoms. 2 carbons. The bond between those carbon atoms must be shown. And this carbon atom, the first carbon atom, is bonded to 3 hydrogen atoms. So we can write CH3. CH3. And the second carbon atom is also bonded with 3 carbon atoms. Sorry, hydrogen atoms. Second carbon atom is bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms. So we can write the condensed formula as CH3, CH3. This is the condensed formula of this alkane. So what is meant by molecular formula? Molecular formula is simple. Write the number of carbon and hydrogen atoms. Okay. Here number of carbon atoms are 2. Here mainly 2 carbon atoms are present. Here there are only 2 carbon atoms are present. Number of hydrogen atoms present are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 hydrogen atoms. So we can write it as C2H6. This is the molecular formula of this compound. The naming nomenclature will be taught later. Okay. Next, we are dealing with 3 carbon atoms compounds, alkanes with 3 carbon atoms. 3 carbon atoms. The first carbon atom, we can name it as C1, C2 and C3 for convenience. Okay, first carbon atom is bonded to nearest C2 carbon atom and 3 hydrogen atom. Okay, nearest 3 hydrogen atom. And consider the C2 atom. It is already bonded with the nearest carbon atoms. So the left is 2 hydrogen atoms. 2 hydrogen atoms. This is the structural formula. Here it is bonded with 1 carbon atom and the other 3 bonds are with the hydrogen. You may or may not write C1, C2, C3 and just simply write carbon, carbon, carbon. And for the convenience, I have written as C1, C2, C3 to distinctly understand while teaching. Okay, you don't have to write what is C1, C2, C3. Just write carbon, C, C, C. Okay. Next, the condensed formula. You can easily write. Consider the first carbon. First carbon, and it contains 3 hydrogen atoms. It is bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms. Okay. CH3. Okay. Then single bond. The bonds between carbon atoms must be drawn. Next to carbon atom, this carbon atom is bonded with nearest two hydrogen atoms, CH2, and next to third carbon atom, CH3, CH3. You can write it as C3. The molecular formula can be written as C3H8. C3H8. And okay. Next step, you can easily understand how to draw these structures of any compound. Any compound with, if I ask you to draw a compound with number of carbon atom is 5, a compound with 5 carbon atoms, you can easily write that, right? Okay, you can easily draw the structural formula, condensed formula, and molecular formula. So I think that you may understood what and how to draw all the alkanes. Okay. Next, I have a question. What is the relation between? Okay. Next, I have a question. What is the relation between number of carbon atom and hydrogen atom? What is the relation between number of carbon atom and hydrogen atom? Okay, just be careful. While writing the number of carbon atom and hydrogen atom relation, we just need to check here. We can change the color. Okay. Number of carbon atom. Here the number of carbon atom is 2 and the number of hydrogen atom is 6. What is the relation between these 2 and 6? Also check here. Number of carbon atom is 3 and number of hydrogen atom is 8. What may be the relationship between these two? If we consider the number of carbon atom as Cn, number of carbon atom as n, number of carbon atom is n, the number of hydrogen atom present will be 2n plus 2. 2n plus 2. 2n plus 2. That means if the number of carbon atom is 2, the number of hydrogen atom will be 2 into 2 plus 2, 6. 2 into 2 plus 2, 6. Here if the number of carbon atom is 3, number of hydrogen atom will be 2 into 3 plus 2, 8. 2 into 3 plus 2, 8. Also there is a homework for you. The rest, the alkenes and alkynes will be discussed in the next class. So now you have a homework. That means just find out if there are 5 carbon atoms. If there are 5 carbon atoms, number of hydrogen atoms present in the compound, number of hydrogen atoms present in the organic compound. Okay, thank you. We can learn the later parts in the next class.